Hello and welcome to Dressing Your Pear or A Body Shape tutorial. Now, just to recap on your measurements, we are proportionately larger on our bottom half, so our shoulders and our waist are narrower than our hips and our thighs. And we have a delicate chest and softer upper body. And this, for me and for my pear-shaped clients, we tend to feel our bum and our hips is on show and rather more prominent in our outfits. So the key here is to create that balance with our upper body so that it matches and is more aligned with our proportionately wider bottom half. So basically we're going to build up the top, add greater volume, and visually widen the shoulders. And as I mentioned, creating this better balance will have you feeling far better when looking in the mirror. But what does it actually mean to add greater volume and build up an area? Well, garments can do very different things to someone's look. And in this video, we're going to be looking at which garments are best suited to help create that balance, but also how to mix and match other items so that you can wear anything that you choose, not just the styles that are the most suited to you, whatever you really fancy. And it's entirely up to you if you watch this whole video through from start to finish, or you can pause and dive into your video at each different sections and kind of like learning with your wardrobe as we're going. So it's entirely up to you, and I will tell you where to pause the video so you can do that if you like. The first place to start in terms of your items is with your underwear. Now, your underwear is the ultimate starting place to really create the best foundations on which to build all your outfits. So investing in a good supporting bra can really help create a smooth base, and it is also a good starting point for adding that little extra volume needed that we need up top to bring our top half into more balance. So with an extra padded bra, for example, this is going to give us a bit of fullness in our chest, but obviously that is entirely up to your preference and what you feel comfortable with. You don't have to go for a full-on wonder bra. Just a little bit of padding will work wonders to generate that little bit more fullness to the upper body, as I mentioned. And in terms of what makes a good bra, well, a good fitting bra will sit snug against your body, but not too tight that it leaves marks. The cut will be completely contain your breasts, so too loose and the top will pucker in, and too tight and your boobs will spill over, which we don't really want either. And the front section should sit nice and snug to your chest, but remember that you may need to readjust your straps whenever you go to put them on, because they can just alter as we take off and put them on again. So just make sure you readjust and it's nice and fitting nicely, but not too tight to leave marks. And something that I tell my clients, there is absolutely no need to shy away from wearing control pants if they really help tummy concerns you might have, because these really do create a nice smooth line over your tummy and down to your hips to make items glide over more unnoticeably. So whether it's just popping to the shops or heading out for a full day, if you like how they feel on, why keep them for best? Pop them on so that you always feel your best. Okay, so we're going to first talk about the tops for pear shape. And when looking for tops, as I mentioned, we need to build up and add volume to your look. And we'll do this with details, with patterns, with prints, with shoulder pads, with embellishments and ruffles. So you really can go crazy and just enjoy really making a statement with your upper body to give that fullness which works to balance with your bottom half. So the high necks are really going to work well because it kind of closes the area a little bit more, rather than a V-neck is just going to kind of open it up, which kind of makes us seem a little bit slimmer, which emphasizes the bottom half a little bit more. So do tend to go for things with details and embellishments up top. And if you don't like a high neck, then as you can see, we've also got some V-neck and sweetheart tops as well. So with the ruffles in the lovely blue, bright blue colour, the ruffles is going to give you that added volume up top to kind of help give you that extra fullness, even with a V-neck top. And the sweetheart, as you can see, what the sweetheart is doing, it's sitting on the shoulder. So the shoulder sleeve and the off the shoulder sleeve is kind of widening your upper body, because visually you can see her shoulders and her outside of your arms. So that's a really great, off the shoulder top is a really great for widening your shoulders. What else we're looking to do is kind of wearing bright, bold colours, again, they work by attracting attention, and therefore attention is taken away from the lower part of our body if you've got any concerns with your bottom or your hip area. And when looking at layers, again, we're going to just keep building up on this upper body. So we can go for double-breasted, shoulder pads, pocket detailing. These are all fabulous ways in which to build up your upper body, as opposed to going for a single-breasted top, for example, which with low detail, it's kind of not giving as much volume up top, and emphasis could still be around your hip and your bottom area. So going for great detailing, pockets, embellishments, padding and puffs are really, really good styles for you to help build up that top half, sorry. So why not now dive into your wardrobe and have a look at what tops that you've got, and just kind of do a comparison with those that maybe aren't as good for building up your top area, and just see the comparison and see the difference and how you feel in one versus how you see yourself in another, because these subtle differences really will make a big impact in how you're looking and feeling when looking in the mirror. And then if you want to rejoin the video, then we'll continue with bottoms. Okay, so when looking at the style of trousers and skirts and bottoms, for example, this is where my clients struggle the most. We've lived for so long now in skinny jeans. It was a massive craze and it doesn't seem to have gone anywhere. However, the truth is this isn't a great look for many body shapes, in fact. They were just ready for relaxed and for comfy leggings, jeggings, skinny jeans, but they don't actually do anything for our confidence. So what we need to do is add a little bit more volume and movement around the leg. And so styles, so for example, are your mom jeans, where you've got the wider, just slightly movement with a tapered leg to kind of bring back into your slight small ankles, or you've got the straight style jeans, which with the straight style, it's basically dropping straight down to the floor. So there's no emphasis that you'll notice around any hip or bottom area. Compared to a skinny, everything is tight around that leg, so everything is on show. But with a straight leg, it drops straight to the floor and doesn't have that tightness and make us feel a bit more conscious when wearing them. And the same with the green wide leg trousers. As you can see, it's a very elegant look. It just drops straight to the floor, really elongating our body and not drawing any emphasis to our wider hip section. And the same with the turn-up styles at the bottom. What this is doing is it is generating a little bit more detail at the bottom of the leg to take emphasis away from the hip. So a turn-up style is also great for you. Now, when looking at shorts, the same theory applies. We're looking for those with a little bit more movement around the leg. So your flared leg, your straight leg and culottes, for example, are really good for you to help reduce any concerns with hips or thighs so that they don't cling, as discussed. And when talking high rise, mid rise or low rise, the best for you is essentially the high rise, because this is what's really going to do is emphasize our lovely skinny waist and just elongate your legs, because it then looks far longer compared to a mid and a low rise where you the legs start that little bit lower down. But also for the mid and a low rise, what that's doing is, because attention is where your items stop, attention with a high rise, attention is high up on your high waist and your skinny waist. However, with a low rise, it's low down onto your hips, so you're generating more emphasis and more focus around your wider hip section. So that's the reason why we kind of tend to go for a high rise, but it really is down to personal preference. Some people may feel too restricted with a high rise, and there are some kind of elasticated versions available so it's not as restricting, but you may find that you fancy a low rise instead, and it is entirely your preference. So I would say just have a try of the many different ones and really see which is your preferred choice. And when looking for skirts, again, you can really have fun with them because they've all, by nature, they all just flow around the legs. But what we really want to do is define that waist, your beautiful waist. It's really going to define your shape and make you feel slim. And basically with a tie or a wrap belt, you can really cinch it in and even add a belt yourself, creating the same effect if your skirt doesn't come with one. But in terms of where you're wearing your skirts, what we don't want to do, which a lot of my clients start off doing, they wear it around their tummy. Now, what you do is raise it slightly. Have your waistband sitting up above your tummy so that it really is nipped in above your tummy, and it just glides and flows down to your leg, not generating any attention to your tummy or your hips and your thighs. But what we need to be careful of here is if our skirt is really full and really pleated and really flowy, for example, what this could do is add a little bit more volume to your bottom half. So what we need to make sure is we are creating that little bit more extra volume on top to combat and really balance things out. So go for a nice puff or padded shoulder, for example, and that's going to really bring things back into line, but really remember to cinch in that skirt and really define your waist. So we are now at the bottom of the bottom section, and again what you can do here is dive in your wardrobe and again have a look at your items and just compare. How are you feeling in a skinny jean, for example, versus a wide leg and a straight leg? And now you can really understand why that is. It's because they are no longer on show with a wider leg. And now see how you're pairing them with the tops that we've just discussed in the previous slides, and try and create some fabulous looks now with a padded or a puff shoulder, for example, with your wider leg, and just see the comparison. I really hope you start to really see your shape come alive and start feeling far better in how you're wearing your pieces. It really will make a massive difference. And then you can rejoin and we will talk about dresses and jumpsuits. Okay, so here with the dresses and the jumpsuits, the key is to take everything we've learned up to now and find the perfect dress and jumpsuit for you. So what that means is we're going to add more volume up top with a flutter sleeve, a padded shoulder. So this is going to add that extra volume that we need. And a flutter sleeve is great for you as well because it's just adding that extra bit of volume. Padded, as I mentioned, ruffled embellishments, pockets, all those details, loud, bold colours. It really is going to give that extra volume up top. And then what we're going to do is we're going to work our way down to the waist, and we're going to really cinch it in, either with the tie that it comes with the item, or we're going to use our own to create that effect and deepen and enhance our waistline. And then what it's going to do is going to hopefully flow down nice and gently over those hips and thighs and be nice and flowy and give that movement around the leg, which is going to take away any concerns that we have with our thigh area. And again, just really balance and have that fabulous silhouette created with that one piece. And again, you can go with lots of different styles. The one shoulder is great. And don't forget, we've got the off the shoulder sweetheart style. So really do have a good play and see what you fancy when you're out and about in the shops. Okay, and that's it. So if you wanted to go and have a look again at what your styles you've got in the wardrobe and just kind of have a gauge of, you can see why that doesn't quite work versus something that you can see on screen does work, and just really have that really intense understanding now, so that when you do go to buy something, you can really understand what it is and why it's enhancing your features and making you feel flattered or not doing quite the best job and having you feel a bit conscious. And then you can really put all of this work into practice and have a fabulous silhouette and create all your outfits with great style.